Scene 1, interior spaceship.
Connor? Connor? Can you hear me? Connor, it's Kat. Connor!
Have we made it?
Bloody hell, you lazy shit. I thought you weren't going to wake up.
Well, I'm a heavy sleeper. You know that.
I know, but I left you under longer than ideal, and I was afraid I might have miscalculated.
Why? How long was I out for?
3 weeks.
Well, that explains the numbness.
What? No morning glory.
Give me a minute.
Oh, wait. Before you start that launch sequence, there's something you should know.
Why? What's going on? Are we not in orbit?
We're in an orbit, just not the one we were planning on.
Are you telling me we haven't made it back to Earth?
Yeah, our plans changed. I answered an SOS.
Oh, God, no. How far off course are we?
Listen, before you get angry, there was no other choice. Not answering would have been the same as murder this far out.
But how is this not suicide? We don't have enough oxygen or fuel for a diversion.
Well, I'm not an idiot. Don't you think I'm fully aware of our precarious situation?
Don't be angry with me. You're the one who got us into this.
Well, you haven't heard what this is yet.
Well, then tell me. Don't leave me in suspense. Do you imagine imminent death as an entertaining thought?
No, I'm trying to tell you, you just won't shut up for long enough.
Go on then. Enlighten me. What's going on?
The SOS came from an asteroid mining operation run by the Prospect Corporation. They're too high profile not to do everything by the book. They'll have contingencies for contingencies and more than enough supplies for us. And they're an aversion to bad publicity that'll make this so worth our while we'll never have to work again.
Which sounds wonderful, darling, and also far too good to be true.
You're just a natural-born pessimist.
No, I'm a realist. Doesn't it beg the question, why would Prospect need our help?
I know. I wondered that too, but I mean, no systems are infallible, not when people are involved. There was a breach in the living quarters.
How many survivors?
One for sure, maybe more. There was the initial audio SOS, an automated message which I responded to, and someone replied straight away, saying he'd been sitting by the comms waiting to hear from a rescue party. He sounded desperate, naturally.
Naturally.
He said he was out mining when he felt the ground shaking and returned to find the base gone and their ship damaged beyond repair. He's surviving by scavenging from the mining rigs.
What about his mining buddy? They're always meant to be out in pairs.
Well, apparently his partner became unwell a couple of hours into their shift, but they were behind on their quota, so he carried on alone.
Okay, so it sounds plausible.
Yeah, but there may be a problem.
Finally. I knew we'd get there.
Well, most people would be unhappy about a problem.
It's not like I'm happy about it, just not surprised. There's always a problem, and it's best to get to it quickly. The sooner we know what it is, the sooner we can deal with it.
Well, then the problem is that the exact nature of the problem isn't clear yet.
Go on.
There was a follow-up message. No audio, just a text this time. I didn't prioritise it because I was busy checking we were running as efficiently as possible so that we weren't going to run out of anything vital. I assumed it was just the original contact sending through the exact coordinates, and by the time I got around to it, we were already committed.
I'm guessing it wasn't a customer satisfaction survey.
You're as perceptive as ever.
So, what did it say?
It just said, trust me, you're going to wish you'd stayed away. I haven't been able to get anything back from them since.
Why didn't you wake me earlier?
Oh, the air supply's too low. I had to wait until I could be sure this conversation wouldn't be fatal.
I was dreaming of going for a run. Sucking air in and blasting it out again without having to worry about the next breath being a useless gasp of nothing.
Well, hopefully you'll soon be doing that whilst I stretch out on our bed. Weightlessness has just lost its novelty for me. I long to just be able to lie there without floating away.
Okay. But in the meantime, you've had time to think it all through. What do you think's going on here?
My guess is it's somebody hoping to profit from the rescue and trying to keep us away so that they get to keep all the bounty. Did I mention it's a gold mine?
Literally.
So they said.
What about the breach? How do you suppose that could have happened on a prospect base?
It could have been anything from a moment of distraction to a psychotic episode. The psychological stress of being trapped in a small metal pod surrounded by an eternity of nothingness is more than enough to get to someone.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that thought. My thinking is that the prospect of gold can bring out the green-eyed monster in anyone. There might well have been a fight that got out of hand.
So, manslaughter at best.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Well, we're going to have to find out soon enough. We're approaching the end of our last deceleration orbit, and I've identified a landing location. There's a dust cloud obscuring the site, but this is the only area where the radar detected structures of definite Earth origin.
Rocket roar. Electronic alarms.
Touchdown in 3, 2, 1.
Rocket roar fades.
Touchdown. Stabilizers deployed. Engines off. Landing complete.
So, what's the plan here?
Activate the rover, collect oxygen, fuel, souvenirs, survivors, then home.
You might have to put a pin in all of that. I've just made visual with our problem. We're not the first rescue team. Over there, by that mining rig, there's another ship next to the remains of the rocket, and where I'm guessing the base used to be.
Wow. No expense spared there. That ship might be enough to convince the aliens to finally make contact.
Yeah, it's a safe bet that's where the second message came from. They'll be wanting to mine the gold for themselves, and the survivor probably isn't alive anymore. That's why you haven't heard from him again.
They better play nicer with us. If we're not here to rescue anyone, we're going to need rescuing.
I can't imagine they'll want us sniffing around their treasure trove. If we play dumb and just make out we've run out of supplies, they might be happy to help us on our way as quickly as possible.
Brief radio static as connection made. Their voices take on the quality of an aeroplane intercom.
Landing party requesting contact.
Lone survivor receiving.
Brief radio static as connection cut.
That's bizarre.
Murderer!
Brief radio static reconnecting link.
Please confirm, has the SOS been answered?
I hope so. That's why you're here for, isn't it?
But I can see from your signal that you're on board that other ship.
Ah, yes. Well, I was hoping you wouldn't have the tech to work that out straight away. The truth is, I don't need rescuing anymore. Oh, and I also lied about the gold.
Why?
Because you wouldn't have come if you knew what I'm really mining.
We didn't come to mine. We came to our...
We didn't come to mine. We came to answer an SOS.
How noble.
So what are you mining?
Your ship, or rather, ship's more valuable than yours. I didn't want your heap of junk in my net, and I tried to warn you off when I saw that what I was reeling in, but you kept on coming anyway. You should have listened to me.
Well, we had no choice once we were committed.
If we can refuel and replenish our oxygen, we can be on our way. Clearly, we're just making the place look untidy.
Not a chance. I can't risk you reporting to me.
Are you saying you're going to let us die?
Don't worry. It probably won't take long. Just plug yourselves back into your sleep cycles and you won't even notice you're suffocating.
Is that what you did to the other crews?
Unless their oxygen supply was too generous and I couldn't be bothered to wait. Then I'll have crushed them to death.
Yeah, that'd be hard to sleep through.
I wouldn't know. I imagine you're right.
Background keyboard clicks.
What were you originally here to mine?
It's nothing worth my while. I agreed to my wages being a share of the profits, but this place is as useless as a pile of rock. I was never going to earn enough to make up for 2 wasted years of my life. Then I realized if I crush down the machinery and living quarters, I'd be able to turn a decent profit in a matter of weeks. and get back to Earth and forging a new identity before anyone realized what I'd done. What I hadn't reckoned with was the computer generating an automated SOS. Anyway, my first would-be rescuer realized it had been an accident, and since I couldn't bluff my way out, I refined my plan and included them in my harvest, which keeps on growing as the SOS persists, reeling in more ships.
We're changing our plans too then. We were going to play nicely, but since it's clear you're hell-bent on murder, it's time to fight back.
Yeah, right. You and whose army?
Cat and a keyboard should do it.
Keyboard clicks become faster.
Good luck with that. The ship's systems are impregnable. Lucky for me, the previous crew were gullible enough to give me access before they worked out what I'd done and what was really going on here.
Just like you have no idea what we've done and what's really going on here. Oh, it looks like she's in already.
That's not possible.
It is. We have a talent for trouble.
Hence our limited employment options. Why else would we be out here in a glorified skip? No legitimate mining operation would run this heap of shit.
Although we might have become reformed characters, we could have been here to do our civic duty, heroically answering an SOS.
Warning alarms.
Wait, what's happening?
I'm venting your oxygen supply.
No! Please. No.
Bad luck, little spider. You just pulled a tiger into your web.
Brief hiss of radio static as the connection is cut.
Nasty work. What choice did he give us?
I know we're no angels, but who'd deliberately incorporate murder into a business model?
Oh, come on, murderous betrayals are nothing new. Just because people are starting to overcome the space between the planets, don't be fooled into imagining we'll ever defeat the devious space between our ears.
That'll be why no aliens ever made contact.
End.